There's a line in this law that hits hard. Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. That's the core of Law 25. Recreate yourself.
Because the most powerful people aren't reacting to the world, they're designing themselves inside it. Identity becomes a choice, not a trap.
And most people live trapped in expectations and labels, in patterns they never chose. They carry roles given by parents, culture, school, status, without realizing it's all optional.
This law isn't about pretending to be something you're not. It's about refusing to be limited to what you were told you were. It's about reclaiming authorship over who you are.
And authorship is power, because when you can recreate yourself in identity, in presence, in story, you become flexible, unpredictable. And in this world, predictability is weakness.
That's why this law matters. If people can define you, they can confine you. The moment you become a type, you become manageable. The power players, they stay fluid.
Think of it like a stage. You can act, dress, speak, shift your posture, rewrite your reputation, control the way you're perceived, not to lie, but to lead perception.
That makes people nervous. They confuse authenticity with rigidity, but real authenticity is being aligned with who you choose to become, not with who you used to be.
And when you break that idea of fixed identity, you unlock growth. Because now you're not stuck defending who you were. You're free to design who you'll be next.
That's what reinvention is. Power as evolution, as self-construction. It's psychological, but also strategic. The ability to present different versions of yourself depending on the room, without losing your essence.
Because identity should be a tool, not a cage. Something you wield, not something that holds you.
And those who master this law become impossible to pin down. They shift when they need to, expand when it serves them, withdraw when it protects them. They are self-authored.
So let's break it down. Reinvention doesn't start with action. It starts with awareness. You can't rebuild yourself until you realize what parts of you weren't built by you.
Right. Start asking, what parts of my personality are reactions? Who told me I had to be nice, quiet, tough, agreeable? And what if I never questioned that?
Because a lot of identity is inherited. We take on roles that served us once, maybe even protected us, but eventually they turn into cages, outdated scripts we keep repeating.
And when you stay in a fixed identity too long, you lose agility. You stop evolving. People can read you, manage you, predict you, and that's when your power flatlines.
This law invites you to consciously perform, not to fake, but to shape, to decide how you walk, how you speak, how you want to be perceived, not for vanity, for strategy.
Because like it or not, the world responds to image, presentation, language, aura, and the people who understand that, who use it, move faster.
But here's the shift. When you recreate yourself, you're not chasing approval, you're commanding perception. You're giving people a version of you that moves your mission forward.
And it doesn't mean being inauthentic, it means being intentional. Choosing who you are based on where you're going, not based on where you've been.
Look at any great leader, artist, or icon. They weren't fixed personalities. They evolved, they rebranded, they shifted their presence to match their moment.
That's why Robert Greene frames this law as art. You become your own sculpture. You don't just exist, you curate yourself.
And it's uncomfortable at first, because reinvention forces you to let go of stories that kept you safe, roles that made you liked. But that's the price of power, letting go of comfort for control.
So ask yourself, who do I keep being because it's expected of me? And what would happen if I let that identity die?
Because sometimes your next level isn't about doing more, it's about becoming someone else, someone you designed with precision, not accident.
Here's the part most people miss. Reinvention isn't just internal, it's external storytelling. It's the ability to manage how others interpret you.
Exactly. People don't just respond to who you are, they respond to the story they believe about you. So if you're not shaping that story, someone else is.
And the world fills in the blanks fast. If you don't craft your image, if you don't guide the perception, others will do it for you, and rarely in your favor.
That's why this law is strategic. Reinvention is a narrative act. It's not just about changing who you are, it's about curating the version of you that serves your position.
Think of a politician, a founder, a performer. They all manage perception through style, language, framing, not because they're fake, but because they understand power flows through narrative.
And that doesn't mean being theatrical. It means being deliberate, knowing the impression you want to leave and repeating it until it becomes real.
Because repetition creates reality. If you consistently show up with a new standard, a higher tone, a sharper presence, a calmer posture, people adapt. They stop seeing the old version.
But that's the hard part, staying consistent. Reinvention fails not because the version was wrong, but because the person keeps reverting to what's familiar.
And that's why Greene says, be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. It's not about lies, it's about leadership, starting with self-presentation.
Your tone, your timing, your silence, they all communicate. Every detail reinforces the version of you you're building, or it sabotages it.
So when you recreate yourself, don't announce it, embody it. Let your choices tell the story. Let your consistency do the rebranding.
And don't ask for permission. Reinvention isn't a group decision. It's an internal declaration, expressed through external discipline.
The best part? People eventually stop questioning the change. They just accept it and treat you accordingly.
Because in the end, people don't believe what's true. They believe what's repeated. Control the repetition, and you control the perception. Let's talk about the resistance. Because the moment you try to reinvent yourself, the world pushes back. Not just others, but you. The internal voice says, "Who do you think you are?"
Right. That's the echo of old identity trying to protect itself. Reinvention threatens the comfort of who you've been, even if that version of you is outdated, even if it's not serving you anymore.
And then there's the external pushback. Friends, family, coworkers, people who liked you better when you were smaller, simpler, more predictable.
Because when you change, you force them to confront their own lack of change. Your reinvention becomes a mirror, and not everyone wants to see it.
So they'll mock it, undermine it, say things like, "You've changed," and you have to have the strength to say, "Exactly."
Because that's the point. Growth means becoming unrecognizable to the people who expected you to stay the same. That's not betrayal, that's evolution.
But to get there, you need detachment. You need to let go of the version of yourself that earned approval but couldn't earn power.
And let's be clear, you're not doing this to impress. You're doing it to align. Align with where you're going, with who you're meant to become, with what your mission demands of you.
That's why this law requires courage. It's easy to repeat, to stay likable, to stay familiar. But reinvention demands friction between who you were and who you're becoming.
You'll lose some people, you'll confuse others, but you'll also attract new energy, new alliances, new attention, new access.
And that new access only opens when you've outgrown your current form. Power doesn't knock until you're ready to answer as someone new.
So if you're stuck, if things aren't moving, maybe it's not your strategy. Maybe it's your identity that's outdated.
Ask yourself, is the version of me I'm projecting still aligned with the life I say I want, or am I stuck performing a role that no longer fits?
Because the most powerful people are never static. They evolve by design, not by default.
Let's look at real examples. People who used this law, consciously or not, to escape limitation and step into massive influence.
Take David Bowie. He didn't just change looks, he built personas. Ziggy Stardust, the thin white duke. Each one wasn't just artistic, it was strategic. Reinvention as career fuel.
Or Madonna, constantly reshaping herself, not just musically, but visually, ideologically, socially. Every reinvention positioned her at the center of a new conversation.
Even someone like Steve Jobs, he wasn't just a tech guy, he became the embodiment of design, innovation, minimalism, black turtleneck, stage presence, narrative control. It was intentional.
And we can't ignore political figures. Think of how Barack Obama carefully shaped not just his message, but his image. Calm, composed, strategic tone, every gesture curated.
These people understood something most don't. The world doesn't just reward what you do, it rewards the identity you construct around it.
And identity is malleable if you build it with vision, if you refine it with consistency, if you're brave enough to outgrow your old story.
That's why mediocre people with strong image often rise faster than brilliant people with no presence, because the world can't respond to what it can't perceive clearly.
And this isn't about fame, it's about framing. You can be low profile and still powerfully constructed, still intentional in how you carry yourself, speak, and operate.
Powerful people carry signal. They send messages through subtle things, posture, pacing, even silence. Reinvention sharpens that signal.
Because every detail tells a story, your wardrobe, your language, your timing, and when they align, you become hard to ignore, even if you say very little.
So the goal isn't to impress, it's to resonate, to design a version of you that attracts the right rooms and doesn't need to explain itself.
And when you get that right, people adjust around you. They mirror your tone, they respond with curiosity, because you've created intentional mystery.
And mystery, when paired with clarity of presence, becomes power. Quiet, deliberate, unmistakable.
So if there's one message in this law, it's this: you are not a fixed identity. You are a construction, and you can rebuild, not just once, but constantly.
Most people wait for the world to give them permission to evolve. Power players don't wait, they declare new versions. Then they embody them until no one questions it.
And you don't need to broadcast it. You just need to live it consistently, quietly, deliberately, until it becomes your new normal and the world adapts.
Reinvention isn't loud, it's precise. It happens in how you enter a room, how you speak about yourself, how you move through discomfort with presence.
And every time you resist the pull to explain yourself, every time you hold your new standard without needing validation, you strengthen the new self.
That's where personal power lives, in the restraint to let others react while you hold form, in the confidence to say, "This is who I am now," even if no one claps.
Because most won't clap. At first, they'll resist, mock, doubt, but if you stay the course, if you repeat the new signal, they adjust, they forget the old you, and the new version becomes fact.
So here's the question. What identity do you need to retire to become who your future requires?
Who are you still pretending to be just because people are used to it?
Reinvention is not rebellion, it's refinement. It's letting go of the noise you inherited and choosing the signal you want to send.
And yes, it takes time, it takes friction, it takes solitude. But on the other side of that process is a version of you that moves with intention, power, calm, clarity.
Next week, we shift from identity to time with Law 26, Keep Your Hands Clean, where we explore the art of power through indirect action and the importance of avoiding stains, even when pulling strings.
Until then, stop waiting to be discovered. Reintroduce yourself as the version you were meant to build.
And never forget, the most powerful thing you can become is someone no one expected.